Hi, I'm Joe, here with my latest latch-up creation. This is a Vervico kit called Dolphins in a Tropical Atmosphere. And this is, I believe, 22 by 28 inches. Did not come with a cat, but it does show pictures of three dolphins. And I really like the contrast between the very light blue and white and the very dark blue and purple. Cat, this was not helpful. I would show you where it shows the beach, but it's being covered up by cat at the moment. And I'm not going to do a full start to finish review on this. This was just the latest project I had done, and I hadn't planned on making a video about it, but there were a couple of unique things about this kit that I had never experienced before in a Vervico kit. The first one is that it actually has a printed pattern, which I had never seen before in a Vervico kit. We always just get the painted canvas. Oh, cat. Now, this is only one A4 sized sheet of paper, but it's still better than nothing. There are grid lines on the pattern every 5 squares. However, there are no grid lines on the canvas, so it's not that helpful. But Vervico canvases are usually pretty well painted, and you can follow them, but there are a questionable square here and there, and it was nice to have the paper pattern to refer back to be able to make sure I did those exactly as they were intended. The other thing about this rug kit was that there was a lot of miscut yarn. Now here, this little tuft here on the left, that's all the right size. And over on the right here is just a random sampling of some of the yarn pieces, some which is comically long and some which are just little stubs here that thankfully I had enough of the regular cut yarn that it didn't turn out to be a problem, but it was annoying when you go to pull a new piece of yarn out and you get one of these. And a lot of times there'd be like 5 or 10 of them in a bunch, and I just set them aside. Sometimes I cut them to length. I didn't save all of them. I just wanted to save this small sample to show you, but this was kind of annoying and very out of character for a Vervico kit. So that's what I've been doing. As for what's next, there was recently a sale at Herrschner's combined with a discounted shipping coupon. So after being financially responsible, at least latch hook wise, for most of the year, I went ahead and picked up a few new kits, starting with this Apple Lane Orchard, which I think will be a nice kit for fall. It doesn't exactly have fall colors, but I associate fall with going to apple orchards, at least where I live. I don't live in a state famous for apples, but we do have apple orchards, and it conjures memories of taking the kids where apples were just kind of secondary to the other activities they always had going on, but I do like to eat apples, so that one I'm looking forward to doing. And then next, I've got this Paradise Cove, which is a bit of a odd shape. I think it's like 50 by 25, no, 50 by 24 and vertical. And I really like the colors of the pink and purple and yellow sky, and I think it will make a nice companion to the big lighthouse here that also has a very similar coloring of sky. So I think that those two definitely would look nice paired together, or they're at least in a very similar style. And then finally, to go with Paradise Cove, we have Pirate Cove, which is a kit I've had my eye on for quite a while. I love the ship there, along with the palm trees and the scenery around it. Plus, I've been having fun lately with my other hobby and have been making a custom Lego pirate ship. This isn't my design, it's someone else's design, but it's not an official Lego set. But I love the idea of decorating with a pirate ship, and I think this rug would go very nicely with that theme. And finally, I'll give you a little spoiler alert. I'm going to show my progress on the Herrschner's year-round project, the one where you get a big canvas and yarn at the beginning of the year, and you get one pattern per month to keep adding to it. Some of you I know are doing it and don't want to have the surprise ruined, but I am completed through July, and 3, 2, 1, there it is. I haven't been showing pictures of this very often because I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but I've got the lynx from January, the oriole from February, the wolf from March, the raccoon from April, rabbits from May, owl from June, and we have a loon from July. And I really like the loon and the oriole best because they actually have color in it other than brown and green and sky. I had slightly higher hopes for the loon just because I knew it finally used some of the more interesting colors that came with this project, because it uses sea green, dark teal, light teal, and navy blue, and just 3 pieces of dark coral there for the eye. But again, the resolution, it's hard to get a great picture when you're only doing 45 by 45 squares for each picture. But it's still been a fun project. It keeps me doing each square every month, and it only takes a couple of days to do a square. So I don't commit a lot of time to it at any one time, but I am looking forward to having this done because I have to keep this partially finished canvas handy and get it back out once a month, and it is starting to take up a lot of space. Thanks for watching my video about what I've done, what I'm doing, and what I'm going to be doing. I'm looking forward to getting started here on Apple Lane Orchard soon, and I hope until then that you are having a good end of summer, and I'll see you next time.